What up, what up, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a special recording for Sirianni Says Sports. Now, obviously, I haven't been around for doing the Sirianni Says Sports podcast for the last couple of weeks because it's been so busy and so hectic. So I figured that I put up some content in a way that I think would be entertaining. So, as you all know, the March Madness tournament has reached the Sweet 16, and you know, I have a bracket. It's not doing terrible. I mean, my max is 1240 out of a possible 1920, which is not terrible, but it could be better. But there's a thing called the Second Chance Bracket Challenge where you can repick your bracket from the Sweet 16 to the championship and try to feel perfect in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to do that for this little recording. Anyways, I'm Matt Sirianni, and I'm doing this for the men's tournament. I'm going to do this for the women's later on today. So I wanted to do this just to get some content out there, and also because I love the March Madness tournament and how it's been panning out. So we're going to go matchup for matchup, Sweet 16 to championship, men's side, and then we'll do the women's side later. All right, so I'm going to share screen here, and then we're going to get right into it. All right, here we go. Share that screen right there. All right, here we go. So there we go. There's the ESPN Second Chance Bracket Challenge. So you're telling me there's a second chance. Create 25 new brackets from the beginning of the Sweet 16 and compete for $25,000 in total prizes. I'm just going to create a bracket here, and here we go. These are all the matchups. So you got the South, the winner of the South region playing the winner of the East region, and the Midwest region winner playing the West region winner. So we're going to go game for game here. Keep this in mind. We're going to start off with the Southern region first. That is in Kentucky. So we got Alabama, San Diego State, and then Creighton and Princeton. So we're going to go right here. So we're going to start off with Alabama and San Diego State here. Um, two really interesting teams, but obviously I'm going to go with the number one seed. I got to go with Alabama because Brandon Miller is just one of the best players in the country, and that Bama team as a whole has just been dominant throughout this tournament so far. And I think they roll ahead. They roll ahead, roll tide to the Elite Eight. And then who they're going to play between Creighton and Princeton, that's going to be interesting. Creighton's got a lot of offensive prowess to them, and Princeton's been on a amazing run ever since they knocked off Arizona in the first round. But you know what? I think Cinderella's night, the Cinderella story comes to an end. I got to go with Creighton here, and they face Alabama in the Elite Eight. So I have Bama and Creighton in the Elite Eight in the Southern region. I'll get to the Elite Eight picks in a little bit. Now we got the East region. That's FAU, Tennessee, Kansas State, and Michigan State. With this Tennessee FAU matchup, I'm actually going to go with FAU because Tennessee tends to choke in the later rounds, and this is a perfect time for them to fall off a bit. So I think that they lose in the Elite Eight, in the Sweet 16 rather, and I think FAU, which is by the way my Uncle Anthony Sirianni's school, his alma mater, and he's going to complete his master's at FAU. So I'm going to go with the FAU because I just think that Tennessee's going to fall. They usually fall in the round of 16. And their opponent, FAU, will be either Kansas State or Michigan State. I'm going to go on a limb and say Michigan State because they're well coached. Tom Izzo has been around for a long time. He's gotten this program to amazing heights. And in the wake of tragedy with the campus shooting, they just look reinvigorated, and they're the only team left in the Big Ten. My conference, I'm a Rutgers guy. I got to go with Michigan State here. So FAU and Michigan State highlight the East region in the Elite Eight, and now we go here to the Midwest region. Number one, Houston versus number five, Miami. I don't know how Houston's pulling this off, and I don't know where they're getting this energy from, but Marcus Sasser has been phenomenal this tournament, coming up clutch, even when he's a little bit banged up. But Miami has experience playing in this. They made it to the Elite Eight last year. They beat the brakes off of Indiana in the round of 32. I think the Houston's luck comes to an end. I got to go with Miami. Then we got Xavier and Texas. Winner plays Miami. Two evenly matched teams here. I'm gonna go with I know Texas. I mean, Texas I think is just better offensively, and I like Marcus Carr, former Minnesota Golden Gopher. He's been a sensation throughout this tournament. And Xavier, even though they've looked okay, but they barely got past Kennesaw State. And when you're going up against Texas, who is a juggernaut offensively, I think this is gonna be a problem. Then we got the Western region. We got Arkansas, UConn, Gonzaga, and UCLA. We're gonna start off with Arkansas, UConn. The Huskies are usually pretty good in tournaments, typically, men and women. I'm gonna go with the Razorbacks. Pig Suey, man. I mean, the way they showed hard against Kansas in the round of 32, I just can't believe that they're in this position. But I will say this: they're gonna win by a squeaker, kind of like they won against Kansas. I cannot believe Arkansas pulled that off against Kansas, but I think they're gonna barely squeak past UConn and make it to the Elite Eight. And then UCLA and Gonzaga, this is probably the game of the week or the game of the Sweet 16 because this is the rematch of the 2021 Final Four matchup where Gonzaga won on a buzzer beater in overtime. But UCLA has just been a juggernaut this tournament, although they barely made it past Northwestern. And Gonzaga hasn't really impressed me this tournament. They've won by double digits, but barely. So I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say UCLA pulls this off. So we got Arkansas, UCLA in the Western region. We got Miami, Texas in the Midwest region. We got Bama and Creighton in the Southern region, and we got FAU and Michigan State in the Eastern region. Now for the Elite Eight. Bama and Creighton. Spoiler alert: I have Bama winning this whole tournament, so I'm gonna go with Alabama. I think they're gonna beat the brakes off of Creighton. Although Creighton has proven that they could score points, not this Bama team can score points and then some. They've been phenomenal. Then we got FAU, Michigan State. FAU would make their first appearance in the Elite Eight if this were to happen. Michigan State has been in many, many big situations with Tom Izzo, and you know what? I'm gonna say the Spartans. I'm gonna go green and go white on this one. So I have Bama and Michigan State in the Final Four facing off against each other. Now, the Midwest Championship, Miami and Texas. Miami's been in the Elite Eight last year. Texas has not been in this territory in quite some time. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Texas gets it done. I think they're explosive. I like this team a lot. Then we got Arkansas and UCLA, and I'm going to go with UCLA. Pac-12 SEC matchup. I think the Pac-12 comes out victorious. So those of you keeping score at home, it's Alabama representing the SEC, Texas representing the Big 12, UCLA representing the Pac-12, and Michigan State representing the Big 10. All right, I'm gonna go on. All right, so Bama, Michigan State. I know I have a couple friends who are Spartan fans. I'm sorry to tell you this. I got Bama winning the matchup easily. And then we got Texas, UCLA. Oh my God, this is juicy. Um, I know Texas. I know Zach Cantrell, a good friend of mine, has Texas winning the whole thing. I'm going to give him the championship. I'm going to say that Texas gets the championship against Alabama, but I have Alabama winning the championship. How many total points will be scored in the national championship? 135. Actually, no, scratch that. 155. All right, so there we go. This is my bracket right here. I have Bama winning the whole tournament against Texas. And I'm gonna submit this. So where can I submit this? Oh, there it is. Submit bracket. I picked Bama to cut down the nets. Yes, I did. All right. We went ahead and named your entry. You can rename. You can rename it by clicking on the gear icon. Where's that gear icon? I'm not gonna create another bracket. So yeah, Bama winning the whole thing. So if we go here, groups. I'm not in any groups. Oh, this is the regular what you call it? Fans of Houston, fans of Tennessee. Probably just cumulative points per person in a group, so that's kind of cool. My brackets will go here. I'm not going to print the brackets, so points gained. So I'm going to keep an eye on this bracket. The most number of points you can get in this type of bracket, by the way, is 1280. So I'm assuming if you do the math, this is think of it. 40 is 80, 160 here, 240 here, 320, 640, 80 is 320, 16, 220. Yeah, 1280. So every round is worth 320 points total. So yeah, that's my bracket for the men's side. I'll do the women's side later. Stop sharing screen. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my men's predictions from the Sweet 16 and upward to the championship. So yes, I have Bama winning the whole thing in my original bracket. I have Bama winning the whole thing in my inverted bracket. So that's about to do for those of you who are creating brackets. I'll make another video in a little bit about the women's bracket because the women's tournament is actually kind of crazy. I didn't expect it to be this wild. But from Sirianni Says Sports, I'm Matt Sirianni. I'll see you in a little bit on the flip side for the women's tournament bracket predictions. But take care, have a great night, and of course, peace out.